Second.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Ira. How's it going?
Baruch Hashem. All right, go to it.
Thanks. Oh, crap. You're seeing already way too far in. Hold on. Am I nervous? I look nervous. No, I'm kidding. I'm not nervous. I'm fine.
You've got
I'll
pretend. I believe it.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
It's recording though, so no pressure.
Oh, great. Everyone sees me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Like I said, my name is Aliza Unterberg. I'm a graphic designer, and I would like to tell you a bit about me. So I was born in New York, and when I was 4 years old, I made Aliyah with my family to Efrat and have lived here ever since. Until I was 21, and I moved back to New York and went to FIT for communication and advertising design bachelor's. So, and after 4 years and 2,448 coffees, I earned my bachelor's degree with honors. Soon afterwards, I worked for one of the top boutique agencies in Manhattan called rungup. These are a bunch of our clients and that we had. The World Jewish Congress, you guys probably know from their We Remember campaign for International Holocaust Remembrance Day that happened last week, actually. They've been doing it for a couple of years and I worked on that personally. This was also another project that I worked on, soup to nuts. It was when, I don't know if you all remember, when Gal Gadot starred in the first Wonder Woman, they weren't showing it in some countries. And happens to be that in those countries, they also don't have as many rights for women, or they have laws against women. And we made that correlation. And it was a question like, is it anti-Israel? Are they anti-woman? What are they really afraid of by showing this film? And it was a great project to work on, and it generated over 100,000 views on Facebook. Just a little bit about the other two. So Innovair is a nonprofit organization that helps over 500 charities worldwide. And we worked on their Facebook page, but in addition, they needed a campaign to help get new recruits. So we kind of honed in on the fact that they not only have a family vibe and it feels like family when you work there. They actually have a lot of people who are family. They have a set of twins who work there. They have a father, a daughter, an aunt, a nephew, cousins. And so we had them also featured. So not only did we feel like family, we are family. So, and one of the biggest things I learned when I was in rungup was, as long as you're keeping your client happy and making them money, they're going to keep wanting you. So that was always our goal. We wanted to stay relevant. And the last thing that I'm going to say about rungup is when we worked for ALC Wealth Window, that was actually a lot of fun because we were aiming towards the 1%. And this is a campaign that we worked on, the Super Sunday, about all the things you could do with all your money, like get an ice cream sundae with actual gold in it. Or you could buy a helicopter a private helicopter that you could put in your driveway. And it was just a lot of fun to work on these things. Now, as great as it was working at rungup, I've always been entrepreneurial and wanted to expand myself beyond that. And I figured what better way to do that than to come home where I love Israel, I love my home, and to start over from there. What is it that I actually do? Graphic design is very, very wide array of things. And this is a lot of words on text, and I'm more visual, so I'm just going to go through it with you visually. Yeah. So branding is first and foremost how you present your company. It's your logo, it's your colors, your fonts, and it's in everything that you're showing, whether you're on Facebook or you have business cards or I have a big billboard. Like, you want people to see this and know what it is that you do. And here, for example, was a client I had called Israel Rep. They're a new company and they deal with construction and new development projects in Israel. They wanted something sleek, they wanted something modern, but oddly enough, they wanted a crane, which does not sound sleek or modern at all. So, and that is a big part of my job also, because clients will have these requests and they'll want me to incorporate things, and I not only have to, but I want to listen to what it is they want, because it's not about what I want. It's not what my design is. It's not my baby. This is their design. This is for them. So I need them to be happy. Also, I want them to have what they want. So out of curiosity, and this is going out to everybody, what do you guys think they chose? You can unmute yourselves. 1, 2, or 3.
The first one?
2, number 2.
Number 2.
Number 3.
If they wanted a crane, then they would have gone with number 3.
I like number 3. If they wanted the crane.
They wanted a crane, but you convinced them not to.
I would go 2.
All right, number 2. So yeah, I actually loved this the most. I thought that it was awesome. And for so many reasons I'm not going to go into, they ended up going with this. They thought that it was something unlike they've ever seen before. It had presence. It was new. And obviously when we add the colors, it looks also so much better. The blue of Israel and the gray of cement and building. And they absolutely fell in love with this. Web design. Now I'm saying this now. This is not what it looks like now. Web design is anything from a completely brand new website to updating an old website. This is one of my clients, Gabai Real Estate. This is what their site looked like before 2019. And as you could see, there's in their logo, because you want to try and use your logo to represent you as well. So you use the same colors, the same fonts. They were using the green and the gray, but it's also very condensed. And it was very hard to scroll through to get a good feel for what it is. And if anybody has ever dealt with real estate, and there are enough people here who deal with real estate, there's so much information that you're trying to absorb that it's daunting to look at this. So now, if you please, I do have a slide, but I kind of want to show you. This is what their website looks like now. You go on, and there's this beautiful time lapse in the background of Jerusalem. They are a Jerusalem-based real estate agency. Here, right off the bat, you could search for anything you want by location, feature, rent, whatever, but it's focused, you're looking for your journey to your dream home in Israel. And as you scroll, like, yes, we use the green accent from their logo, but very, very slightly, and we've expanded and given space to what they do, and actually have been able to incorporate more information on this site than they had on the previous site. And not only have we we have multiplied their engagement by about 300%. We've also had people on for 15 to 20% longer than they did on the last site, which is very, very important. Video editing. I call it video editing, but really it's pre and post-production. It's everything that has to do with videos. And I'm going to stick to Gabai Real Estate for a second. So what I do is, if someone wants a video for their company, I talk to them about wardrobe, where we're doing it, what the script is, and I record it. And then after recording it, I take all the footage, and whether I'm using my own graphics or other footage or imaging, I then create a video that is seamless and is able to convey your message or what you're trying to say in a very easy way. I'm going to show you the difference of what their videos used to be before I came into the picture, and now what their videos look like. And it's important, as anyone knows, and as I said here before, first impressions are key. And in videos, it's the first 3 seconds that really catch you on when you're scrolling. If you're not interested, you're not going to keep watching. So here, I'm going to just show you the differences just for a few seconds.
Steve Gabai here with Gabai Real Estate Professionals. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to take a look at choosing the right real estate agent and negotiating on a deal. Now, before we get into what factors are most important in choosing the right real estate agent, let's talk about why choose only one. Why not work with 3, 4, 5, 20 different agents to find you the right property?
That was what they used to do. Now, this is one of the ones that I made.
Yaniv here.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to discuss, is the church going to take away my property? Historically,
The church owned land throughout Israel with a large concentration in the heart of Jerusalem. In the 50s, the church signed a contract to lease over 1.4 acres of land in Jerusalem.
Huge difference. Now, not only is it graphically much better, not only are you engaged, but there's a lot of information that goes into church land that is very boring. And I break it down in a way, and I make it visual in a way that you want to actually listen and you want to hear it, even though you'd probably think, what is the best way that I should pick my real estate agent? That's probably more relevant to you than church land, but you were probably more interested in the second one. Not only that, from the videos that I created since I came, there was a 20-year-old who saw one of these videos on Facebook, told his father about Gabaya real estate, and in turn, the father ended up buying a $3.5 million shekel home in Jerusalem. So just to show, and that probably wouldn't have happened if you just scrolled past the other video. Principal materials are brochures and flyers, postcards. This is a crazy story, actually. I don't know if any of you know from New York, Meyer Real Estate. So this is Michael Meyer from Meyer Real Estate, and he's one of the top real estate agents in New York. He has sold over $700 million of real estate. Huge deal there. He actually saw the Gabaya real estate new marketing that we have been doing, because not only do I do their website and their videos, I also do their social media. And he asked Yaniv personally, got in contact with him and asked him, who is your designer? I want to work with her. And since it wasn't a conflict of interest, Yaniv passed it on, and I was able to make these postcards for him. I also made mailers, I made brochures and their email blasts, and it was really quite wonderful how that came about. So it's pretty cool. Social media campaigns, those usually consist of posts, of videos, and you're boosting yourself, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., no matter where you want to put them. So here I worked on a campaign for Yavniel Vacation Village. Now this, I don't know if any of you know, Yavniel is up north and it's right near Tveria. And the Yavniel Vacation Village is this pre-construction project of 12 lots. So, and they were having issues with selling in the height of Corona. I'm sure you can understand. It's got so many issues. There's so many things piled up against them. In the height of Corona, getting a vacation home is excessive. It's extra. It's pre-construction. Anybody who's ever tried to buy a home, you know that buying a home that you could see is hard to choose, let alone one you can't see. And also the demographic was Anglos, a lot not from Israel, and people weren't coming during Corona. So we had to figure out a way to, how do we even market this? It seems impossible. So I took all of those negatives and turned them into positives. It's a vacation village, it's extra. Now this, as opposed to where Anglos love to go to, Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, as you know, and getting a 60 square meter apartment that is cramped and it is millions of dollars, if not shekels, you can get for a fraction of the price an affordable, breathable home with a pool and a yard and space. So it is, you want to escape to the country, get your breathing air. You're going to be remote anyways, and at least enjoy your space. For those who are concerned about pre-construction, well, you could build your own home. You could design it. A lot of Anglos don't like the construction in Israel as it is. So you can actually determine how your house will be built, which is huge. You make it look the way you want it to. And last but not least, for the Anglos that can't come here, they have an even playing field with Israelis because Israelis couldn't go to see it either. And this was an actually huge success. We got many, many inquiries, and also we got three purchases for 3 lots And last but not least is exhibition graphics. So this was done for a trade show. And as you see, it's a little more three-dimensional because you have to make a whole booth. And it goes on the back end. You need to consider you want to make a big design, but you have to also think there's going to be a screen there or whatever else you have to put there. You want to have your logo up front and an easy way for people to access it. You kind of need to, because in trade shows, I don't know if anyone's been to one, it's this huge warehouse full of these booths and you have to try and stand out, but not only that, you need your message out quickly. So not only did we have their website right up front, we also had on the wall saying all-in-one contact center platform. That is what we do. Very quick, very easy. That is what we do. And this was, as you see here on the side, there are these mailers, and this was our theme, Unleash Your Call Center. And this was also, and I'm so sad that I don't have a picture of it. We made, in these trade shows, they have also all these posters, 6-foot posters that they hang from the ceilings, and to show people walking around, oh, that's here also, oh, I should check that out. And this was a 6-foot poster of a Mastiff running straight at you. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but that is scary. And that was able to catch people's attention, which was also a fun project to work on. So what are the kind of tips that I could offer you guys in your graphics or whatever you end up doing visually? Less is more. Here you can even see Google, the most used website in the world, has, and it hasn't always looked like this. This is from 2011. Until 2011, they were breaking it down. They have one thing on their site. They want you to type and search. They don't want any other distractions. So, and you can use that with anything you're doing, whether it's a flyer or your website. You want to direct people to what it is that you're doing or what it is you want them to do. Don't add what isn't necessary. You want to keep adapting yourself. You want to be on par with what is design, kind of like in Goodbye Real Estate. If you went onto a site like that now, you wouldn't want to, you wouldn't necessarily want to work with them. It's hard to work with them. It looks old. Are they even open anymore? Is that place closed down? Like you need to make sure that you're not only visually appealing, but you're also relevant looking. So this person here, this is a website of a web animator, and his entire website is interactive when you work with it, which is awesome. And I'll send it to you if you guys want. How do others compare? Now, I know that a lot of you aren't graphic designers, and this isn't your job, it's mine, but it's important to know who else is out there, also to be as good or better, but you also don't want to look like them. Say I'm a law firm, and all the other law firms have green logos or green branding. You don't want to necessarily have green branding. You want to stand out. Or if you do want green branding, make sure that yours, it has some sort of edge, or it's something in it that makes you stand out more. Be the Israel rep that's just different than anyone else. And last but not least, always double check your work. Please, I beg, double check your work. I went over this presentation several times, made a ton of tweaks, showed a bunch of people, and practiced my butt off before I came here. And this person, who was probably this very nice lady, it seems because of her daisies, probably wasn't the clown from It, saying she's a fun clown for kids. But she had this bloody red font that she used, which was in poor taste. So always double check your work, whether it's with typos or not the right font, because sometimes you're too close to it to see what the actual issues are. So always have at least another set of eyes to check your work. So what am I looking for? I'm always looking to collaborate and to add strategic partners. I have been working with great people until now, but I'm always looking for new web developers, photographers, videographers, and yeah, and because I can always, first of all, get another perspective. or I could just do something possibly better. I don't know. I haven't met the best of the best yet, or I could always do better. I'm always learning, but not only for my designs, but also for corporate connections. Like since last time I spoke with Joshua, I spoke with Chaim, and that was making sure that my paperwork was in order. That's making sure that my messaging and the people I'm actually targeting are the right people. And it was awesome. I had great, and I highly recommend them to everybody, by the way. They were awesome. And so I'm always looking to expand my network as well. What am I offering? I'm offering a free consultation. You guys have graphics, or you want graphics and you want my input, I'm glad to talk to you about it. I'm always offering a finder's fee for whoever offers me new clients, and a 10% discount for anyone who wants a presentation or a flyer. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. That was fantastic, Lisa. Firstly, a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Really, really great. And I think that. And
Good
today,
job.
I have a
Good
quick
job.
question.
yeah, of course, go for it.
So are you now in the United States? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm in Efrat.
You're back in Efrat. Okay. That's all I wanted to know. I'm your neighbor across the road in Alon Shvut, so it would be easy for me to see you, but not so much if you're in New York.
No, I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away.
All right.
Moshe.
Moshe, yeah.
Do you do like A/B testing? Like, how do you know what is the most responsive? And some like the video difference was incredible, and was first of all, it was very impressive. I must say, it was a really impressive thing. But how do you know? Like, do you use like behavioral psychology? Do you use A/B testing?
So
how do you tweak the most?
So what I do, as I was saying, always adapt, always learn. I look into best practices and what has been working for advertisers until now, and what has won awards, or what has gotten the most views or best results in the industry. And I take from that probably the best things, whether it was analyzed or not. And I say, okay, how can I apply this to what I'm doing in this field? How do I make this better, or make it like that? And that's where I'll do it. I don't go as much into A/B testing. So it's usually been more research.
What is A/B testing?
A/B testing is when you are, and don't quote me on this because I only know not as much on it. So A/B testing is when you try out a couple of different ads in different demographics or age ranges or whatever, and you try two different ads, and you compare them in these demographics and see which one actually gets more engagement, which one works better. And there's a bunch of different kinds of tests you can run, and it's to see how you could move forward with your marketing. Moshe?
Yeah, you didn't mention, I guess there's two questions, the decks, and does that include pitch decks?
Yes, absolutely. Presentations, I create presentations and decks, anything that is graphic. I do not do copywriting for legal matters, but I could make scripts. So anything that's graphic, really, that it needs to be done, and any marketing, thinking of campaigns and how to word it, how to whatever, all that, I do that.
Awesome. Any more questions? Lisheva. Where are you? Lisheva, you're mute. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry. I never make that mistake, but I totally made it. Okay, so I get the same question a lot with video, but I'm curious what you have to say on it, especially with things like Canva and businesses having to create a lot of graphics for their social media really quickly or for different purposes or whatever. When do you recommend that it's good for someone to make things themselves versus hire you or hire somebody to do graphics for them? Like, when do you suggest people do that usually?
So usually, if they're trying to boost themselves, or they have, I don't do so much the Instagram everyday posting and the stories. I actually have a cousin who does that if you guys want her number, but so I do more targeted campaigns or campaigns that are aiming towards something. Like I do the social media for Goodbye Real Estate, and that's on a daily basis for when they have new products, new properties, or when we have a new video to talk about something new. It's a little more focused. It's not as generated like daily thing. So if you wanted something like that was a constant, I would suggest Canva. And I've also actually created templates in Canva for those, so they can actually just take it, use it, and create themselves. If they wanted to generate that much more, it doesn't pay to have me do that necessarily all the time. But if you
Yeah, totally.
a little more tailored or a little more complicated, and you need something to be structured nicely, there's way more information there, and you want to reach a broader audience, and so it's harder for people to take in a lot of text usually, and if it's like an invitation to something, so then they would come to me and say, look, I have this invitation, and it's technically at this day at this time, but I need to add in all this text to explain what it is. And if they just wrote all that text, no one's going to look at it. So that is something that necessarily would probably require more of my skills than just an everyday, like, check out what we have going on today and whatever, which I don't poo-poo. That is a huge part of marketing. It's just not a section that I do.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, Aliza. Thanks for the presentation. That was really great.
Thank you.
So I was wondering, so you presented a lot of like the real estate and stuff, which relates to like a lot of the people here. Have you had any experience with working with technical software based clients or some of the scientific companies here in Israel? Is that something you would be comfortable with doing?
Absolutely. Desk Force, the exhibition design that I did, is a communication technological company. And I'm always open to anybody. I'm not real estate centric. It just happened to be that a few of my clients were real estate. But I did a website recently for a forensic accountant. Now I'm doing a new website for a bakery. I expand to anybody who needs graphic designs and want any graphics done for them. I am open to them.
Any more questions? No? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Aliza. That was really, really fantastic. I'm going to stop recording now.